Hello, everybody. I'm a proud DoesItPlay $2,000 financial supporter.
Skip it up and that up.
Make sure you check out my music channel where I just did an unofficial remix where I produced the beat of Conway's John Woo flick. There'll be a link to that below in the description in the top pinned comment. And also, there'll be a link to my live stream channel where I live stream almost on a daily basis. You could check that out too and sub there if you want. Which, if you want to after this video, because I'm sure some people are probably going to hate me. So, for me, it has been an interesting 72 hours, to say the least, and it all started with a video that I made a couple days ago called Thanks to PlayStation, I'm Now Pro-Piracy, which many of you agreed with. The video in and of itself wasn't an issue, but DoesItPlay had an issue with my video, saying that I put out misinformation that games are just coasters when you take them out of the box. If you buy a physical game, I do say that the game is necessarily just a placeholder, but they say that's not true, and you know what? They were right, and they caught me red-handed. Here is a clip that they retweeted from a troll, which isn't necessarily professional of them, a known troll by the way of mine. Maybe you should have looked into that. You're a company that prides yourself on researching things like games. Maybe not retweet a troll? Just saying. Anyway, here's the clip. But I will pay you to get any single fucking game from the store that doesn't have a multi-gigabyte update. I'll pay them $2,000. $2,000. Get a game from the store, DoesItPlay, that doesn't require an update. Mario Wonder, okay.
You owe me money.
So, technically, they were right. And even when they came on a live stream of mine, which was very friendly, technically, I was right too. There are many articles out there saying that there is a plague of day one updates and that it's a problem. There are multi-gigabyte updates, but there are games that are out there that do not need updates. And even if there is a multi-gigabyte update patch, it's not necessarily needed to play the game. If you don't want to play it optimally, but you don't need the patch. The game on the disc is playable if you don't update it, if you have a console that's not connected to the internet. Well, as you saw in that clip, I said that if there was a game that didn't need an update, that I would give them $2,000. And there are games that don't need updates, but the one they showed, they were wrong about, and that was Super Mario RPG. They said that, look, here's a AAA game that doesn't need an update day one. It works right out of the box. Except for the fact that it has a game-breaking bug, Super Mario RPG. Now, I know there's a workaround that you could restart the area and get through that game-breaking bug, but really? Like, the example you show me to get money out of my pocket is a game that, with evidence, has a game-breaking bug in it. Okay, I wish I realized that when you first tweeted it at me. Super Mario RPG isn't my cup of tea, so I wouldn't have known that. Now, I'm a man of my word, and I did give them the money. That was also done on stream. You could see it. I had some issues with Patreon, but the money is now scheduled to go to them January 4th. And actually, what I said in DMs is that I would pay them via PayPal today. I would love to do it. I would love to give them the money now, one and done, know they have it, and we could go our separate ways. But they refunded my PayPal money, and they're saying they no longer want the $2,000. You saw my DMs. We're going to blur out their side of the DMs. I'm not posting DMs from anybody, but I will say what they said because it's an integral part of this video. So I technically was wrong. I admit it. I offer the money, but after I kind of start pointing out their mistakes, that's actually what made them say, nah, you know what, we're good. No, well, you could keep your money. I know they'll flip it and say that I was being a spoiled sport on Twitter, but money's green. Just take the money and just don't talk about it. I have no issue with you. I appreciate what you do, and I think it's important for game preservation, even though you're just saying if the games work on disc or not, so I'm not really sure what you're preserving, but nonetheless, I still think it's a good cause what you're doing. And I just want to show you what I wrote for a receipt in the DM. Again, their side's going to be blurred out. They wanted to do a Zoom call with me. I said at the beginning, no, there's really nothing else to talk about. Why are we doing a Zoom call? I said, no, I just want a link to pay you. PayPal link to pay you. Beyond that, there's nothing else to discuss. I already have a payment set up, so I didn't go back on my word. I'd just rather have the money sent to you now than have Patreon wait a month to give it to you. Then I wrote, actually, my producer and I would like to go on a Zoom call if you're still available. So we'll get into that part in a minute. But I'd rather have it one and done with and give them the money. But they responded back with, no, we refunded your Patreon and we don't want your $2,000. But if you had me, why would you not want it? Very bizarre. And they're very weird with what they consider playable. For example, they consider Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS4, or just in any case in its original state, playable. This is what they wrote on their website. Possibly one of the buggiest and most unstable disk build we have ever tested. Frame rate is terrible. Popping is so bad that oftentimes you'll have to stand in place for 30 seconds to wait for interiors to load, and otherwise you'll fall through the floor. They're saying this game is playable offline from the disc. It is still completely possible to finish the game unpatched, although it is highly recommended to not even attempt it unless you want an extreme patience test. So why would you say to people that this game is playable without patches and without updates? Why would you do that? It absolutely makes no sense. If anything, by you doing this, you're encouraging developers to say, hey, if the game's broken but you could get through it, it's okay to put it on the disc. To me, if anything, that's kind of anti-game preservation. But maybe with the donation that I gave you, that's in one chunk the same amount that you make for the entire month from your Patreon, you could fix issues like this and look into them deeper. I'm a proud supporter. Now, Super Mario RPG, which was the gotcha that they got evidence from a troll from, by the way, to get the $2,000 from me. Interesting one, which has a game-breaking bug in it. They forgot to mention that part. And they probably knew that I'm not an RPG guy, so I wouldn't have known this. But I digress. This comes from SiliconEra.com. Nintendo announced that a patch that didn't come on the cartridge to fix the current version of Super Mario RPG on the Nintendo Switch, which an issue that could prevent progress that would be considered game-breaking. The update to fix the issue is planned to release on December 2023, and the company will deliver more information about it in a later date. Now, keep in mind, Rich, that's not on their website. That's cool it's not on their website, but they came forward with a screenshot of Super Mario RPG not needing an update to get $2,000 out of me. I'm a proud supporter. They also consider Batman Arkham Trilogy out of the box for the Nintendo Switch playable. This is what they said. No download codes, yes, but Batman Arkham City and Knight are both stub apps on the cartridge, requiring you to download both games via an update. Both games only contain a message telling you to download the update if you boot them without it. Okay. Batman Arkham Asylum is complete on cart, and there are no updates available at the time of testing. Game suffers from some very frequent and noticeable frame drops when playing via docked mode. Handheld mode mostly runs okay, but there are still some occasional drops. All DLC included on the cart. And with Arkham City, even though it's not included on the cart, so it's not a complete game, it runs like crap if you are in the Batmobile. Playable. Playable.
Call off your men, Jim.
Golf Oscar 5-6, this is Commissioner Gordon. I'm calling off the pursuit. It's too dangerous.
Sir, we're right here. We can take these bastards. What the? They just fired an RPG at us. What the hell are these guys?
5-6, pull back now. That's an order.
So I got a question. How are you preserving games with this site? I'm curious. Okay, you're telling people if a game could play off the disc, but if anything, whether you realize it or not, you're defending broken games being playable on the disc. You're saying, okay, Cyberpunk 2077, you're saying if someone got a PS4 disc of that with no updates in the future, if Sony shuts down, or on the Xbox One, it was god-awful too, that's playable. Okay. All right, how you're out of your mind. That's not playable. And you still consider that the litmus test for what passes? Mario RPG, which is the gotcha moment you use with me, has a game-breaking bug that they're releasing a patch for, and that was your gotcha moment too. Now, the interesting thing in the back and forth here, and I'm not going to show DMs again. Things will be blurred. I said to them, hey, my editor / producer Jay and I want to go on a call. They just said we want to put this to bed right now and they want to refund all the money. When I said to them, why do you not want the money? I appreciate what you do. And I was not saying that facetiously. They replied back with this, which is very bizarre. I'm not going to word directly from the DM, is that they can do an NDA unrecorded call with the founder of the company that no longer is part of DoesItPlay, which was the weirdest thing. Why does it have to be under NDA? Well, what is the problem? If everything's okay and on the up, why do you want me under a non-disclosure agreement? The first thing I want to say is that I'd rather have developers have all the time in the world so we get the most complete product possible. I'd rather have a game take years to make than be rushed because publishers want to hit a quota, make their quarter, and profit. I'm not looking to pressure devs into anything. I'd rather them not ever crunch, take all the time they need so we get a great product and they get to live happy, healthy lives. And the second thing is, in any other industry, would this be acceptable? I know there's recalls, but there's recalls for a reason. If a car that you got came without an engine, the car looks great. You know what? The car looks great. There's just a workaround where I buy it and then they have to bring the engine to me. Would you just accept that? Or think of any other product. If you were buying a TV and they were like, yeah, you know, the TV, we have to put a patch in for the TV to actually run in 4K. But trust me, it's 1080p now. Once we get that firmware update, it'll be 4K. Would you accept that? No, you wouldn't. So why with video games is it okay? Where is this helping preservation? Think about it. What is them telling you if a game is barely working like Cyberpunk 2077 out of the box, them preserving games? But you know what? Their cause is noble. I did offer the money. The offer still stands. I was willing to even give it today. And at least as of now, my payment is still scheduled to go to them on January 4th. If they refund it, it's on them, not me. This is Rich at Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.